Laksa, laksa, laksa. Mayong gabi, good evening, magandang gabi. I think yun lang yung alam ko. So yun, let's see. All right, let's jump right to it. Alright, because I'm already watching the market kanina. Yeah, yeah.
25 billion in revenue was reported yesterday, but
Excuse
it's
me,
also at a very
Seppi.
tenuous time for Amazon as it has gotten so large and it does have such a dominant position in so many
Si
different
Sepirot, yung
industries at
Lord
this
Sepirot, yung
point in time.
white
I
cat
wonder what
ko.
you think that'll mean in terms of the
Naka-block sa
task
view.
ahead for
Alright, ayun.
Jassy
So,
navigating
it's
some of
been a
those
wild,
regulatory,
wild
I guess, investigations and some of
January,
that, I guess,
right?
more broadly, some of that scrutiny.
Of course, a lot of things happening in and out. Of course, a good news, bad news, and some, just surprising news. So anyway, on our portfolio, we did pretty well actually, considering what happened. Yung sa GameStop, Frenzy, AMC, ano pa ba yun? Nokia, ano pa yung mga stock na basically what they call as meme stocks, right?
Next
Na,
steps
na
for Bezos
nag-frenzy
specifically. I mean,
on
he
that
certainly has a
day.
lot of other initiatives underway that he'll be setting his sights
Yeah,
on
even though mayroon lang
focusing his
like,
attention on. He has said,
yung
though, that
sobrang
the
volatility,
space stuff, Blue Origin,
we
is the most
survived
important
and
work that he's
actually
doing. If you
we
had to
cleaned up,
break it down,
exited
knowing him,
in
having worked with him in the
January
past, how
with
much of his time do you think will
1.1%,
be
which is I'm
dedicated to
very
things like
happy
those
with,
space endeavors?
considering the volatility. Right. And yeah, that mention about GameStop, GME, for those people who na FOMO and pumasok at sumabay sa ahon ng buhay, uh, look at the price now. So, it's back to digits and it probably will still drop back to its, in my opinion, the current valuation. So it doesn't really, for me, who proactively manage, my portfolio, since of course, obviously, we have over 50 copiers, and I'm not willing to risk my money and their money betting on, the meme stocks, kumbaga, right? That's why I market red, because no, obviously it will go down. Although I didn't short it because you will never know, right? Because people were hyping, celebrities were hyping, news media were catching up, and it reached, basically global news, right? Na Reddit DAO, hyped the stock and the other meme stocks, and you know, just that community drove the price up. Well, I for one don't believe that is true, because obviously, um, unlike our local stocks here in the Philippines, yung term na disc jockey, or yung dinadump, or pinapump, right? It's not like possible at the scale in the global market. It's just not possible for a few thousand people, right? Even they have $10,000 each to put in this, for example, the GameStop, cannot push the price up, right? It's just ridiculous, because you will need a lot of volume, that's one, and a lot of money to move the price up, right? That means it's not just the people in Reddit or anyone, including our classmates in our group, who joined the frenzy, uh, was trading there. No, absolutely not. Obviously, there were people also who's, from the institutions, the hedge funds, the capital management, and obviously the high frequency trading, right, which are run by the major banks or companies. To mention a few, yung like JP Morgan, Chase, yung mga banks na may high frequency trading in place. Obviously, once they see that, that's what we call big money, right? The big money comes in and it goes up because there's the hype. So generally, the fact, the point na it was, the power of the small guys, like us, right, who drove it. Unfortunately, that's just impossible in my opinion. So yun, hindi ako pumasok obviously because I'm not confident to, even see when siya matatapos and when siya, mag-still continue. Right? Obviously, for the past 3 4 days, it's been going up and down, very volatile. Nasdaq na naging parang 5%, like around 2%, I think, position naging, 15 to 20%, I think, yung weight nila doon. So that's why sobrang volatile yung market, right? For example, like let's look at the Nasdaq for the past 2 days. Look at that, right? Nag-spike siya. And that's almost, magkano ba yan? 18% bump, right? So, or 37 points basically for the VIX. So that was crazy. So yun, I guess lesson learned. Again, what I'm trying to point out here is that when you know, plan your trades, obviously you should not be going on those kind of trades. That's just out of, automatic pagpapasok kayo sa ganitong trade, automatic yung trading strategies nyo nagiging baliwala, right? That's what we say, commonly call as nagiging zero yung technical analysis, and it's just pure hype and FOMO, right? Not even fundamentals kasi walang fundamental dito, right? And that's pure gamble, right? Gambling yung nangyayari. And I, for one, don't like to gamble my money and also our copier's money, right? So if ever mangyari to ulit, just remind yourself what happened here. It also happened way back dun sa oil, right? USD oil. Way back. Oil lang pala yan. Yan, US oil, WTI. Yeah. Remember this day? Yung nag-zero? Last year, April? That was crazy, di ba? And, it was just fueled by, the big news that, contract ng oil was, done. And of course, everybody was shorting until boom, it recovered on the same day back to the 15 points, and then the following days back to the two digits, 30, 40, and up. So anyone who shorted this became either millionaire, or gained a lot of money on that same day, or naging greedy and didn't, exited. And I know a few nasunog, and we are no longer hearing from them in our community and in our Discord, who used to be very active, right? So yan, I hope that something na ma-add nyo sa trading logs nyo, or journals, right, to remind yourselves during these volatile moments. All right, so let's go back to my account, to our portfolio here. Like I said, we gained 1% so far for February. We're still 3 days, or actually two trading days. Well, this is a third, actually, a third trading day, because today is February 3. Trading days in the US at least. So we are 3 days in sa February. And we're already at 4% kasi nag-recover yung market from that big drop, right? I was actually around 6% when before the GameStop frenzy happened. Then after that, nag-drop, and we were able to hedge that by opening and closing some of the cyclical trades natin, which basically represents majority of the tech companies that I hold or was holding, including the crypto, right? The crypto media like XRP, which boosted, and I closed almost 90% there. That's a big win. That's 98% gain, right? But that's all X1, by the way. So of course we don't want to bet on that very volatile asset also, which is yung crypto. And after that, I went back in and look at that, diba? That's exactly it. Right now, it's just going sideways, 30%. So if you look at XRP, I think Bitfinex ata yung ginamit ko. Yes, ito yun. Right? I was looking at it like this. Basically, yung horizontal lines dito represents the resistance lines and the support lines. I use green because I just, I'm long biased, right? So I don't like looking for, intentionally for short opportunities, but I look for them, right? But it's very rare that I short. So yun, look at this. This is the time na nag 98% yung gains natin, nag-peak siya. So let's put a line there. Yeah, that's a new highs there. Right. Well, actually, this is the all-time high, I believe. Yes. No, no, not really. May all-time high pa. Actually, nag-ramp up siya way back to 3. Yeah, and then of course it faced the regulatory questions, right? Like right now, they're currently in a big case versus the SEC in the US, right? So they're being questioned about if they have to adjust whatever is the case. But people like me who believes in crypto, um, invest, invest because if you're an investor like me, if you're a trader or investor, will look for the future, a disruptive. At least for me, I look for disruptions, right? XRP or crypto in general is the big disruptions coming in, the disruptor, kumbaga, coming in, right? And XRP, I believe, is one of those, kumbaga, cryptocurrency na the big potential on the upside, and we're still very young, di ba? Andito pa tayo sa 0.03. It was up 0.5, 0.7. That's why image closed that, yung trade natin sa XRP. And I took profit 98 and I went back in because I am a long-term investor or trader for crypto. Same thing with our Ethereum. Yung tawag nito, yung term is trimming, right? Trimming. So, for a trader like me who actually uses mixed strategy, I use position trading, um, swing, right, and day trading, right. I rarely do scalping nowadays because I try my best, trying to practice using fundamentals and mirroring it with sentiment and technical analysis all together. I know it's challenging, but I so far I think it's working for me. So um, if you've read some books, common common misconception or understanding ng mga beginners, I used to think na merong parang holy grail, right, for trading, like the best strategy kumbaga, and we look for that early on kasi as what we know in life, pag you find the sweet spot, yun na yun, di ba? Then paulit-ulit natin gawin. No, that's sadly not the reality with trading or in investing. We have to adapt, right? That's why my strategy, which used to be, or actually still like this, but I added a lot of research and fundamentals and sentiments, right, analysis into it. Right, it used to be just scalping. If you look or watch my old videos sa YouTube channel natin, you'll find that yung high risk trading ko, it's the same thing. It's what I call it TFC, time frame continuation, right? So I look at the quick trades for 5 seconds to a minute. All right, let me load actually my chart for that. Load, uh, ito yon 1 to 15 minutes, right? The 4C, TFC 4C. Ito yung swing position trades charting ko. Instead of, that's why I said it's still the same thing, uh, but different time frames, right? Different time frames. So let's use Tesla. Right? Because Tesla is one of the stocks that I've been proactively trading in and out, right? Kumbaga. So look, if you look at this is 1 second, 1 minute, 5 minutes, 15 minutes. So within the 15 to 1 hour, I usually trade from 5 to 10 trades in and out, right? I do that before. I still do it, but rarely. When I see good volatility, right? You should not be like afraid with volatility, but you have to understand it and get used to it kasi wherever the volatility is, that's where the money is basically. If walang volatility, you'd be looking at like this right now sa XRP. It's parang let's look at 1 hour. Look at that. It's just sideways, right? That's what you call as walang volatility. Wala. Yeah. 'Cause people are, trying to wait for the SEC case uh, na matapos siya. But going back, ito yung strategy ko dati before. Uh, for chart, TFC. So time frame continuation. Right? I look for the trends and I follow them and I ride them. Right. But now, this is how I trade. Same concept, same strategy, but with longer time frames, right? 5 seconds, I look for that quick trades. In 1 hour within the day trade, I consider day trade. The 4 hours, and to the day, I consider that's a week to month trade. Meaning to say, just like this, what I did with Nvidia's Nvidia trades, I opened them way back one January 5, right? First week of January. Then I just recently closed them uh, yesterday, right? Yesterday.
Welcome back, Treasury
No,
Secretary
yes,
Janet
yesterday.
Yellen meeting with top
Well,
financial regulators to
technically,
discuss
kaninang
U.S.'s
madaling
volatility
umaga.
and name
But
regulation summit.
I'm
The meeting's
using
going to take
the
place
US
as
trading
early as
day, right?
tomorrow.
So
To
yun,
help us understand what's going to be
February 3.
discussed,
So
we're
same
joined
here
by James
also.
Cox, professor of
Ito
law
yung,
at
ito
Duke
yung sinasabi
University and a
kong
member
4 hour trade,
board
right?
of the
The RNG
SEC
trade.
Legal
So
Advisory
this is
Committee.
what I
Professor,
call
thanks
a
for
day
being with
trade,
us today.
right? A few
I
days lang,
mean, what do you
or at
expect
least
to
a
be
week within
discussed?
the
And I
week.
ask that given
So
the fact that
I
this is
I close
really
it.
a jumble, and
And
there are any number of threads that could
same
be
thing with
taken down.
Ethereum, yung nag-trim ako, alright, profit taking tayo, but I still have substantial placements or positions Ethereum natin. Look at that, it's gaining big time. But I'm not closing it because if we look at ETH, yes, I'm looking at Bitcoin. Um, these are my crypto. Teka lang. Zoom out natin kasi masyadong malaki. Log, auto. There we go. Ayan.
Given what
So
we
I'm
know
looking
right
at
now,
Bitcoin, of
and
course,
realizing that there are
Ethereum, which is
regulators that are
ETH,
taking a look at all
XRP,
this, and
which
I
is
imagine we're going to see
yung
investigations that go
crypto
on
kanina,
for
and
a
NDA,
period of
right?
time.
That's
I
what I'm
mean,
looking at
just from
for right
face
now.
value,
So
looking at this
yung
whole situation from all angles, is there
first is yung
anything that's
Ethereum.
different
Yes,
to
this is
see
my
this from a legal standpoint?
projection, right? Kumbaga yung future predictions or prediction ko at least. And again, guys, this is not a recommendation. Please do your own due diligence because we have different styles, different strategy, and different outlook or yung time horizon natin. So yes, I went in and out starting here, and I'm still writing it. Um, and I'm looking at it like within the 3 4 months period, because usually what happens, and I am like one of our admins, Glenn. I follow crypto since way back. I don't know what year was that, 2014, 13, right? I followed crypto and Bitcoin specifically, and Ethereum. Usually what happens is once Bitcoin, goes parabolic and goes crazy, every time there's like halving, look it up if you are not familiar with the term. Um, that's a time that Ethereum and all the other cryptos follow through. Not to mention Ethereum is a big player in automations and a term na contracts, right? If you're not familiar, go ahead and research about it. My question tayo, day trading sir, dati na madalas ka in and out ito din po ba? Day trading sir, dati na madalas ka? Yes, that's exactly what I was um, talking earlier. Yeah, day trading. I'm still doing day trading, but it's a mix right now. So I'm adapting to the current situation, right? Ayan. All right. So yes, that's exactly what happened. So yun, I'm happy again that we survived and exited January with a 1% gain. That's absolutely great, and we don't have much, you know, actual losses because as you look at my close trades, 98% of all the close trades are profitable, meaning to say they're all greens, right? A few of them are just red because I got lost.
Yeah, I mean, justified or
Actually,
not,
no.
we do know that there's a
There's just one
populist
trade.
nature to what we've
Na,
seen over the last couple of
actually,
weeks,
this was a
and the
mistake. I
socioeconomic discussions we've
misclicked
had.
it
I'm
and I
curious
just
what you
closed it right
think
away.
an
That's
SEC
why
under
98%
Gensler is going to look
should
like,
have been
especially given the fact that the
100%
Biden
no.
administration
Ayan.
has
Ayan.
said
All
that
right. So
it's
right
very
now,
focused
since
on
nag-recover yung market, right?
financial
If you look
regulatory
at here,
frameworks
this is
that
my
involve,
index
I guess, more
overview of the
inclusiveness
market,
and
the
more
US
equity.
market, right? So we have the Dow Jones here, which is basically the tech index. Andito yung Nasdaq, which represents the 100 companies, big and large, and the S&P, the 500, still same big and large also, or medium to large enterprises. And then the USD currency, because of course, if you see USD currency basically represents the economy of America in general, right? So yeah, and it's actually gaining in general, right? So, but nakakatakot yung VIX na ganitong jump, and there's like 30 points up. So, kaya I kind of trimmed and closed a few trades and prepared for that. So we're back at 20%, and I might actually even trim more right now live while we're talking and streaming. So if you have questions, if you guys have questions, especially to our campers na online right now, feel free to post it. Of course, you could, if you're not if you're comfortable posting it sa chat natin, you're always welcome to PM me in Discord. Also, yung mga nag-PM natin sa Discord about the promo, I'll get to you. Kaya hindi ako nakaka-reply sa umaga or hapon because I'm sleeping in the morning. And I'm awake right now because, we trade at the US hours. So, gising tayo around this time. And good evening. Sir, ask ko lang about taxes when using eToro. The taxes? Absolutely, if I remember correctly, it should be 15%, right? 50% of your gains. Gains, right? Not realized gains, kumbaga, the withdrawn, right? Gains. So, for example, right now, yung gains natin, January, it's still, in my situation, not yet taxable because hindi ko pa siya na-withdraw, right? Hindi ko pa siya na-gain completely into cash. So once you have that, then of course it is your obligation to pay your tax. I have my own accountant, so she helped me process my taxations or taxes. I think one of those are this is one of the common questions that we are getting. So part of the FAQ, I think I'm not sure if we already created or wrote an FAQ about it sa website natin. Tignan natin. Tignan ko nga if may
James Cox, thanks for joining us today.
FAQ na tayo dyan. TME is basically our official website. Siya na naglo-load. So if you have questions first, I recommend to go to our website, tmeph.com, and then go to FAQs. Most of our frequently asked questions is there. Although if I missed something, please make sure to tell me or let me know para gawa natin ng video or guide. Actually, I have a few items on our list or my to-do list this week. One of those is yung how to withdraw, how to deposit also. I know it sounds easy, but some actually are having issues around it. So we'll make a short video and hopefully makakatulong siya sa mga nagkakaproblema about it, right? So, yun. So yeah, we have the frequently asked questions here that we built. Please go here if may, questions kayo na maybe we, may answer na. And I hope I answered your questions. Your question, Francis Metrelio. Ayun, so yeah, let's go trading. So I'm looking. So what I usually do every day, basically, right? So I quickly recheck if there's like big movements with my positions, right? So for example, right now, the square is my biggest size here, position size, which is almost 7% of my overall portfolio. That's a big one, actually. Usually I just maintain like 4 to 5%. So let's see. I look at my position. I actually opened a few. One, two. I might actually trim, but let's look at square, right? Let's double check. And if there's anything new, the news. No, not 50. 15. That's a lot. 50%. Are you willing really to pay 50%, 50, for tax? I don't know if there's a country that actually charge 50%. 15, 15. So meaning, let's say invested gain. Well, no, it's 15%. 15. That's at least what I know. Yeah, I'm not sure if kasi may mga special rules, I think, depende sa amount, right? Again, I'm not 100% sure kasi I let someone who's an expert of taxes, like my accountant, do it for me. Para mas less yung headache. Right? You should ask your accountant if you have. If you don't, of course, the best way is to go to the BIR office and ask. Yeah, that's the best way. Punta sa BIR and magtanong. Well, I think they have. You could also, I think, call them. Yeah, go to the website. So yun, Square, right? Last time I checked, Square is basically taking advantage of the pandemic and of course the hype of the online technology switching all the business basically is using Square nowadays uh, as like a form of payment. By the way, can you guys by the way hear me? All right? Baka masyadong malakas yung volume sa news natin sa video sa pinapanood natin sa lower right. But I think okay naman siguro because I adjusted my audio. Ayan, so yeah. Okay, thank you. Okay, welcome Francis. So yeah, and I think Square we're still going to take advantage of this moving forward. But yeah, like I said, there's a we're obviously seeing an very imminent correction looming, right? This is a day though they chart. But if you look at, let's expand Nasdaq. Tingnan natin sa week. Week basically represents the 5 year. Look at that. There's a looming correction, right? And it's been rallying, right? And if history serves right, and if you are new, let me just tell you that the prices just swings, right? Back and up, back and up. Corrections happens, just like what happens every now and then, like here. The question is how big. That's always the question, how big yung correction, right? So that's why we prepare for it. Yung mga long term, they usually buy the dip during that moment, right? Me, I take advantage of it by uh, averaging down, right? So that means we buy also on the dip, but not projecting long term masyado, right? So quick trades combined with quick trades and short trades and position trades for a week or two or three. So here for Square, I think I'm gonna trim down. Look at that. We can't sort yung days dito, but as you can see, I have trades from way back first week of January, right? Sa 5, sa 7, sa 6, 8, actually marami, right? Not all are actually gaining, right? Because it was like up and down, right? So, however, let's see, I might actually trim that. Let me see. It's also actually gaining. Let me see. Let me look at it again. Check the news. Yeah, there's a color coding on my watch list here. If you noticed, the green basically represents bull signal for me. So kanya-kanyang style lang yan, right? So that's a bull signal. On if you look at we're looking at the week chart, right, or time frame, and look at that. Still a lot to go up, diba? In my opinion, I might trim and but especially since we're just like 20 days before the earnings report again. I think Square will actually beat expectations. Considering that, you know, ginamit sila masyado sa pandemic. Right? Give me a second. Yung God ko, andito na naman sa taas. Dito ka lang. Sa P. Behave. Ayan. Sir, you trade via eToro but you charge trade view po. Good question. Yeah, that's actually a commonly asked question about it. The reason why I used trading view, teka lang, yung cat ko kasi nagmi-misbehave. The reason why I use trading view is because purely one of the reasons, actually the top reason is the volume. Part of my strategy is to look for the volume. right? Because we want to go, I want to trade on those, uh, stocks or assets na my volume because that's where volatility happens and that's where, money comes in, right? Dun tayo na kumikita. And if you noticed, and if you go to eToro, uh, walang volume doon. Walang volume. Yeah, the volume indicator. Also, I find it easy to manage all my charting, my watch list here instead. So as for the pricing, of course, I'm not scalping, right? So if I'm actually scalping, like way back when I was scalping with gold, as I'm a gold trader, right? I follow it still. Nag-trade ako sa high risk private account ko. Uh, I take into account the spread, right? I take into account the spread. So, yan, estimations lang yan. Hindi naman siya accurate because they're not the same. So, yung pricing, if you are, wondering, Kate, for the pricing sa Square, for example, and hindi siya uh, nagtutugma sa price dito sa buy and sell sa Square, sa eToro, because um, the main reason is the spread, right? That's how brokers make their money, the spread. So if you look at that, the buy is 227, uh, but the hundreds there is different, like zero point 0.3 dito, zero point 0.2, ayan, zero point 0.6. So there's difference. Of course, hindi mo naman siya masyadong affected. Hindi ako masyadong affected with that because I am a day trader or a position trader. Right? In this case, for the Square, I'm positioning. I'm positioning for the earnings report. That's one, and I'm positioning for the week time frame, which could take from 2 to 3 weeks to a month, right? So 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 that's how I look at it. So I think I'm still gonna hold it. Hindi muna ako mag-train for Square. Let's move on. Ano sunod natin? SCDG, all right. The electric electric clean energy play. So I've been going in and out also with SCDG. We're looking at the weeks, still the same thing. Yeah, I'm looking at it uh, weekly. And also at the same time, earnings is coming for SCDG. In my opinion, based on my research, maganda yung earnings nila and I'm fairly confident that they will definitely beat the expectations, right? Uh, and they have a lot of actually deals. Mm, yeah, for Solar Edge technologies. All right. Yun, let's see, ano pa ba? So we will not, of course, we'll not go through all of my positions because ang dami nila, 34. Abutin tayo, mawawala yung boses ko. Um, AMD. How do you screen your stock picks? From Faith. Uh, Good question. How do I screen? I actually use a stock screener here built in. You could also use in eToro stock screeners, but I find again, TradingView is widely used, by the way, and for professional traders and beginners like us, retailers, just because the feature is very rich. For stock screening, I use this and I filter based on oscillators, the MACD level. I look at it, ATR, ADX, and an RSI, obviously, right? And then I filter them by my color, right? That's why parang may tagging dito. It's very useful because let's for example, I tag them based on my projections or my holalysis, kumbaga. Like tinatag kong green. So when I filter here sa ticker, I just click green and voila, I see. Let's maximize it. I see all of those stocks or assets that I tag green. And then I could filter them based on MACD or based on ATR or RSI or stochastic. Yeah, that's how I do it. So I follow the stocks or the assets that I am interested into, especially on tech. I'm big on tech, clean energy, crypto, because I'm an IT guy, right? I follow them, and especially the technology and products that I use. I hope I answered your question, Faith. Uh, Ian or Ian, ADMP sir. Anong ADMP? Is that a stock or an asset? Hindi ko familiar. Or maybe you mean AMD? Oh, yes. Adams. I am not following this stock, but like I've been mentioning, just like my position in uh, Bingo or Bio Nanogenomics, all of the pharmaceuticals or technology, clean energy, or anything related to health and tech usually will take advantage of the pandemic. And especially if, if you research the company, and again, I'm not familiar with uh, Adamis, I guess. Yeah, that's how you pronounce it. If the company has, deals with the government, right? If they have deals, definitely they will take advantage of that. Definitely they will gain a lot of traction, earnings, and investments. Just like Bingo or Bio Nano. So not recommending that, of course, obviously, but looking at the graph, just technical analysis, purely, yeah, I would probably buy in. Again, not recommending, right? No recommendations. Do your due diligence, please. Palihog. What is a good amount to start with for a newbie trader? Good amount? Uh, that's a very common question for all my mentees, actually. So for good amount, that actually boils down to your own profile, or what I call it's a financial profile, right? What is a financial profile, Jad? Your financial profile basically comprises with your monthly income, cash flow, and the net income, right? Basically, the net is after your expenses, your savings, yung tinatabi mo, you're for retirement, etc., etc. That's your net income, right? So, yung net mo monthly, and then multiply that to a year. At least that's for me. That's what I would recommend, right? So that should work. You should get a good idea of how much you could afford, right, to invest. Because one thing that we constantly remind our classmates or yung mga beginners natin, when you start, please, of course, nakaka-hype ngayon because ang daming nagliliparang stocks, ang daming genius, right? Nagpo-post ng mga recommendations in social media, sa Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc., everywhere, right? Recommending anything. Be careful because you don't want to be on that, FOMO hype moment na ginagamit niyo yung savings niyo or yung retirement fund niyo to trade because uh, one of qualifications na kailangan isipin mo when you invest money or you use your money for trading is that the money that you can afford to lose. You can afford to lose. Meaning, pag mawala yung pera na yun, hindi ka hindi ka masyadong iiyak. Of course, you still cry because that's real money. Hard-earned money mo yan. But, the money that you can afford to lose. Um, let's say, for example, we could compare that to money that you can buy for an appliance, right? Money that you buy for a pair of shoes, right? Money you buy for a new cell phone. Those are the things na or those are the expenditure that we could compare the situation na the money that you can afford to lose because the moment you spend it to those items, to those things, you're already losing value, di ba? The moment that you buy a cell phone, bababa na yung value niya. So you're already losing money. However, in contrast, comparing it to your trading, there's a potential gain, right? Or if you invest it long term, then obviously, especially for blue chips or in the big companies like Microsoft, Google, Apple, etc., etc. And again, I'm not recommending them, right? But just an example, if long term, then there's a big upside talaga, di ba? That you're not actually losing, but you're gaining over time. So I hope that I answer your question, Kate. Um, but I cannot say a specific amount because, like I said, that will ultimately depend on your own financial status, right? That's for you to decide, not for us, not for me to say. I hope I answer your question. Comment on OCGN. That's another company that I actually am not following. I bet this is another pharmaceutical company. There we go. Yeah, biotechnology again. Yeah, I'm not following it though, but same thing, same answer for the other stock kanina. Ano ba yun? ADMP from Ian or Ian. Yep, same answer. Ayan, so let me jump to AMD. Yeah, AMD. AMD actually, as expected, beat their earnings like times two fold, times two fold, right? Grabe, 200%. And I'm a big believer in AMD. Yeah, I use their products. I'm using their processor. I'm using ano pa bang ginagamit ko sa AMD? Um, their technology in general, basically, right? I'm a big fan of AMD. Uh, and I'm probably gonna buy also PlayStation 5, but not now. Once it goes down, right? That's why I have over almost 6% of my position AMD. It was green, of course, obviously, when I started, but now it's down because people obviously will take profit. And, as you can see, it's actually a buy opportunity. Although I'm trying to control my risk, of course, preparing for that dip, right? Like I said earlier, if may mag-dip, then we could still buy in and average down. But I'm big on AMD and I'm still holding. And if we look at the week, it's still that big upside right there. Yeah, AMD all the way. And of course, that's just for me. All right, the fourth stock that I will be looking at, let's see, or asset, because we looked at clean energy, SDG, and technology related to crypto, Square. And of course, we're gonna look at another industry. Let's, kasi ang daming tech dito, right? Clean energy tech. I think I'm gonna look at Neo. Right, Neo. I have two positions in Neo and average at 59.77. Let's look at Neo and analyze it together, right? So I have pre-plotted here. These actually are that's how I look at it. Though, or at least I formulated it way back when I was building my strategy around the Darvas box concept. Um, I plotted this way back yung kinakausap ko yung mga mentees natin with my friends in the gaming community. Anyways, Neo has a big upside, and again, same strategy with SLEG and Square. I'm on a swing position here, or position trading. Neo already beat expectations last year, November, and I am positive that they will beat that in the next month also. That's in 34 days. Earning report on March 9. So we're early in here. That's how you position yourself, right? Papasok tayo sa early stage, right? And projecting big swings, right? Big swings, just like what happened dun sa positions natin recently that we closed, like ETH, like Snow, yung mga swing trades natin na lumulobo from 5 to 10% to 15 to 20%, right? That's the best part of swing trading. So Neo, in my opinion, still has a long way to go. Neo is like Tesla at earlier stage. Tesla is also still an EV play for me, but right now it's evolving and we're adapting. It's becoming an energy and a technology play na, hindi na siya masyadong EV recently. And that's why I'm holding Tesla for long term. It's actually consolidating right now, and yung returns nila hindi niya na-beat. They actually, even there's news they're recalling few thousands of their cars kasi may problema. Ayan, recalling the 135,000 Model S because kasi may problema sa touchscreen daw. Right? But still, people are investing. Right? Just like me, I believe in Tesla, uh, long term because I believe in alien mask. Alien mask. Yan yung tawag natin kay Elon Musk, right? So, si Elon lang yung malakas daw, sabi ng mga friends ko. Ayan. So, I guess, yeah, so we touched Square, SEDG, IMD, and Tesla's position. Um, and also, I actually touched Neo and quickly Bingo kanina, di ba? Biotech. I'll be, for all our copiers, thank you for your trust. And I hope that, you know, you will not get FOMO'd and keep on jumping from one. Kasi recently, ang daming nag in and out. And that's not gonna work. And it will not work for our portfolio at least. Kasi pag mag-jump in and out ka, then there's a big chance na, you're gonna be caught off guard na the time na, mag-close ako and you're still in the red. So, masyadong, that's a risky play, di ba? Yeah, and actually Google is, I'm gonna actually close Google. Let's look at it. Yeah, I think they beat expectations. Yes, they did. And that's why, they ramp up there. Actually, I'm gonna close that. I am gonna close that real time now, guys. Let's close it. Close, close, close. I noticed na disable nila yung quick close sa eToro. I can no longer like close yung maraming trades. I have to like close them manually each one. I think I'm gonna report that and ask if they could put it back again because convenient yun eh. Ayan, so we closed Google. So I open that. This is almost no, not 2 months. Actually, 2 months, right? So I open that way back December 4. No. Yeah, 2 months. December 4. And it's been 2 months, right? January 4 and then February 4. Right? 2 months. 2 months swing trade for Google. That's a long, long trade. At least for me, right? Na day trader or swing trader. All right. So also, the moment I close that, if you are in our Discord already, you should see, and there it posted na close na yung trade natin, right? Ayan. So, it's under the trade logs. So lahat ng trades ko nakalog doon. So we closed Google at 13.45%. Kanina lang at 12.22. All right. Okay. Okay. So yun guys. Let's see. Let me quickly look at if mayroon pa tayong mag-close. I think DDD. 3D. DDD. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. I think I'm gonna hold it a bit. Hold it a bit kasi masyadong mababa pa yung RSI sa baba. I think there's still room to grow or room to run. Kung baga. Alright, so I'm gonna keep that. And Ethereum, obviously keeping that. Fiverr. I checked Fiverr last time. Fiverr, by the way, if you're not familiar, Fiverr is one of those freelance websites or parang Upwork siya, right? Where you could hire very talented people, right? And pay them to make graphical things, right? Designs, etc. etc. At least for me, I use them for that. I'm not sure if mayroon pa silang mga kakaibang features. For now, that's the majority of it. And I'm on for a swing trade for Fiverr also. And it's almost actually hitting my TP target, which is 255. So I might actually close that or close a few, right? Ayan, so swing position trade. All right, so last question that I'm going to be answering kasi we're going to go offline and I'm going to switch sa Discord. If you have questions, just feel free to post it there. Ang ito ba sir, pag may target price, pag may target price ako, pwede ko iset bago matulog para makatulog man ako makuha kong amount target price. Yeah, that's what you call order, right? You set your order. For example, let's see, Let's open a trade sa gold. All right, so I'm gonna open a trade to gold. Click trade. All right, so once you open a position, for example, let's open 1,000, right? If you notice, may drop down dito. And by the way, for all those who are trading on their phones, if you plan to be a good trader and really make profitable career with trading, please try to make sure na practice and trade on at least a laptop browser, right? Kasi para hindi kayo mami-misclick, and it's very common for traders na gumagamit sa phone, 'di ba? Daming errors of misclicking. Anyway, so di ba dito by default it's a trade, right? You can actually change that, set that to order, right? So it will ulitin natin. This is the trading window that will pop up, right? When you open a trade, when you click and trade, and you set your amount, and to answer Kate's question, if you want to set uh, and set a price where you want to open it, then change the drop down box here from trade to order, and it will offer you the rate. It's basically the rate where you want to get in automatically, right? So for example, it's 1.8 right now. So let's say let's look at gold quickly. Let's say quick play tayo for gold. Uh, Mhm. All right, I think I'm gonna short gold, right? So let's say for example, I'm gonna short gold. I'm not gonna open that, of course, but let's just say it will go down one at least 35 points. So I'm gonna open that, right? Not short, by the way. Sorry. Well, let's just say short again. Okay, let's just short that. Right. So I'm gonna open. If I'm gonna short it, so I will open at 1.3. Let's say 1.33. So the moment na mag-set siya, mag-drop yung price to 1.33, this trade will automatically trigger. All right, that's the answer to your question, Kate. That's how you set orders. I guess we're gonna add that as our FAQ. Kasi I think wala pa dyan. We'll make a video for that. Or I'm just gonna trim this and post it, right? Ito, specifically. I'm gonna list that para magawan ko ng actual video, para short video lang. How to set order. Ayan. Alright, thank you for the question. Okay. Alright, let's go back. Ruel Tabarangao. Tabarangao. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. How to determine the possible resistance if na-break na yung last resistance? Possible resistance, that depends actually on your strategy and your style. There's no specific rules around it. And as I evolved and as I practice trading, because I'm a full-time trader ever since 2 years ago, right? I full-time, or at least my mindset last 2 years, and I went really full-time last year, and I left my day job or night job because I'm working at nights. Is there is no specific hard rule for anything, Ruel. So if you're basically asking what's like the specific range or conditions para masabi mong that's the next resistance, in my strategy, in my style, I usually look at previous resistance lines. For example, here, let's look for a good stock para mas maraming lines. Ayan, ito maganda yung example. So for example, here, parang ganito, right? Multiple breaks, right? So yung itong green na to, itong line, let me just change the color para mas makita natin. No, not red, but blue. Ayan, let's color blue. So yung blue, basically, if we look at here, like let's say for example, andito pa tayo dyan. Right? Andito pa tayo yan. Ayan. So for example, hindi pa natin na alam yung galaw after June 30, or no, wait, sorry. June 3, right? Or June 2. Nasa June 2 pa tayo. And obviously, nagbe-break. Ito yung blue na line na to is my resistance line here. The reason why I set the resistance lines there is because ulit-ulit na siyang na-break for the past few months or days at least, right? So it break here, nag-break siya dyan, at least 3 times, and break na to ulit, break ayan ulit. So, consistent na nagbe-break yung resistance line niya. And after that, the moment the after obviously if andito ako nag-trade, I can't remember if I have trades here way back, I'm gonna probably ideally set a swing trade, position trade early on, like 2-3 weeks na swing yung projection, because the mere fact that nagbe-break siya almost 3-4 times already, that means it's consolidating, not taking into consideration yung fundamentals and sentiments, right? And that's another part of my strategy to consider also. But purely looking at the technicals, I'm gonna probably buy in here, right? At least earlier. It doesn't matter where, but anything below this blue line, di ba? Pag nag-dip. So most likely here, I'm buying. The moment that it tests it again, like here, right? Yeah, nag-test ulit. That will confirm that it will probably break that resistance in the next few weeks, and it did, right? Look at that, it did. That's a time that I will set another resistance line, which is this green above here at 58, diba? Kasi there's another new highs, at least in this range here. This range. Dito lang, right? Dito lang yung play, kumbaga. If I plotted that, I will probably put a box there to visually help me see na in this range, right? In this range from February to August, right? There's a potential upside, right? After that, diba? To whatever extent wala tayong idea, of course, obviously, because walang previous data. Right? Trading is one of the concept of trading is that history rhymes, not repeats, but rhymes. Usually rhymes itself. So that means compare lang natin actually sa previous trends, right? That's why yung resistance and support concept is basically it. Same thing with moving average. They're all calculations based on previous movements, right? RSI, stochastic, MACD, even the VIX, right? This yellow line here, it's all based on previous movements, right? History, right? They're all based on history. So I hope I answered your question, Roel, or I hope that makes sense. All right, I'm gonna also add that how to set a new resistance line. Ayan, that's a good question actually. And I think commonly asked question then. I'm not sure how common though. But I'll make a video of it. Okay, last question from Iverson. Kilal Ian or Ian. Sir, what is the best time frame for you to use for a day trader? Very good question. If you're just purely day trader, best best time frame for me is like this. Here, this is my, wait, not that one, this one. This is my TFC for day trading, right? 5 seconds, 1 hour, 4 hours, and 1 day. 1 day is my like maximum kumbaga time frame to look at if I need to cut my losses or take profit, right? The reason, of course, at least in my opinion, sa strategy ko, and again, let me remind you that there's no like holy grail or specific strategy 100% that will work for you and me or etc. Right? It could work. I mean, it's working for me, obviously, but it might not work for you, Iverson. But I'm just sharing it to you that this is what I use. I call it a time frame continuity chart, TFC. Right? So 4 charts, and I look for trends and I ride them. Right? I ride them for at least a day trades ko. Right? For swing, I look at weeks. Right? From starting here to the 1 week, yung or weekly chart yung tinitingnan ko. Okay. At least that's a start for you to look at. And if that works for you, of course, that will depend on your commitment, also time commitment, right? Because one of the hardest part, if you're when you're starting to learn trading, at least in my opinion and my experience, is your time management. If you cannot manage your time, or if you don't have, if you can't commit, um, then nag-fail talaga yung strategy mo because naiiwan mo yun eh, naiiwan. and it will be chaotic, right? Uh, it will be hard, right, for you to execute your trades when you don't have time for it to research or plan, etc., etc. Ayun. Thank you for your questions, guys, and laksa laksa. And again, thank you. Congratulations to all our copiers for January. I will post an update later dito and outlining, yung nangyari for January natin. And we're looking so good so far sa February. We're up almost 5% actually today. No losses, no losses. Wala tayo kinaka loss. So once this 30 days is purely just February, hopefully. And of course, I will continuously practice risk management and strong risk management sa trades natin to make sure that we are always on the profitable side of our trades. Thank you for watching. Laksa, gold morning, afternoon, evening, mayong gabi, mayong buntag, magandang umaga.
Thanks so much, Carl. David,
Thank
thanks so
you
much
for
for
watching.
joining
This is
us.
Jed
I appreciate
Villardo.
it.
See ya, guys. Next
This is
time I'll be
really been
posting
extra
the
fun. We
the
were on
schedule, our next
the
schedule for next
video
week and the following
kickoff
weeks
back
in
in
the
May
events
and had
page
many very
sa Facebook
attendees
group natin.
since then.
Thank you.
But I want to ask you now about your blog post that you just put up this week. It was entitled GameStop Was a Warning, Elites Are Weaponizing Censorship to Keep the Outsiders Out. Now, David, I want to note that your VC fund, Craft Ventures, did invest in Reddit. Tell us your thesis around the Reddit GameStop